Well, Coach, you survived a tough game against Mississippi College, but everything's kind of thrown out of whack in a game like that. You guys are moved up a day. You're playing on a Friday night. Everything just feels different, and it was all happening on short notice.
No, it really did, and it was I would say, strange atmosphere, to say the least. You know, we got guys coming from class to go to a pregame meeting, to go to a pregame meal. Just really a different feel to it. Very excited, though, about the crowd that we had, the people who came out, and really thankful for our administration. Just short notice getting that done, and then really having to tear the stadium down afterwards for the storm that was coming.
It was unique because it seemed like everybody kind of settled in by the second half, including your team. You guys really looked a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, very disappointed how we came out in the first half, but give Mississippi College a tremendous amount of credit. They came ready to play. They, you know, the delay or the change in schedule didn't affect them at all. They were ready to go. It affected our team more, which is something we got to work on. But come the second half, you know, I think that's what we're capable of, and I think that's what we got to be able to play week in and week out. To be able to compete in this league the way we want to.
Going into this game, it seemed like it had the makings of a trap, but you guys came right out and scored first. Chris Schwartz had a nice game on the ground.
He did. You know, we made some changes in the offensive line, but Chris just continues to run better and better. You saw him right there. And then you see Anthony Johnson really never give up. Whistle never blew, and he ran into the pile and then bounced his way out and got his first college touchdown.
Put the Argos up 7-0 then, and then they started driving. Ty Jobe really can get it done with his legs, can't he?
No, he can, and I mean, both their quarterbacks are pretty athletic, and they do a pretty good job. And right here they ran a speed option on us. They did that a couple of times. We were in man coverage, which in that case makes it a little difficult. And then here they score their second touchdown. We have blown coverage, really miscommunication. But I think from that point on, you started to see what our defense could do. Here, creating a fumble, Marvin picking it up, really putting ourselves in a great position, give the ball back to the offense. We're going to start breaking on the ball here. Started the second half. Dre DeCombe with the interception. Really the energy that we needed. We talked about that at halftime. And then here we go, Chris Schwartz really running in a new blocking scheme that we put in for this week. Guys ran it great, ran it extremely well. Austin Blake Smith catching a ball down the seam. Thought Gray threw him a really nice ball here, kind of on a second down right there. And then great third down conversion right here. Antoine Griffin doing what we think he's capable of, going up, making the big play. And then Gray really should have given this, but, I mean, he pulled it, and he found a way to get in the end zone. It's one of those things where we say, if you're going to do that, you got to get the touchdown. And sure enough, he did. So great play. Going to see Reggie Barnes here really steal the ball. Great coverage, though. Great call by Darian Doolin, mixing it up in the coverages, doing some man, doing some zone. And then, obviously, the game sealer here, fourth down. Marvin comes up huge. Great play.
And really just a great game for Marvin all the way around. You mentioned earlier, not just what he did defensively in that game, but also what he did on special teams as well.
Yeah, he's a guy that's going to play a ton of snaps for us on defense, but then on special teams, he's the one who downed the ball, tipped it out of the end zone, so that we could start that last series for, them on offense at the 2-yard line. He's covering kicks for us. He doesn't take a play off, and really impressed with how he played, and we needed somebody to step up, and I thought he had a great game.
Well, we're talking about defense. Let's stay on the defense. It seems like the defense has really kind of become one of the strengths of this team. Now, sure, they're going to see a great test this week in Delta State. We'll talk about that later on. But when you look at the defense of this team, they pitched a shutout in the second half. You really have to be happy with what you saw out of them in that game in particular.
Extremely pleased. And really, I think except for a couple of plays in the first half, I thought, when you go back and watch it on film, they played better than, I thought in the first half. We were, very opportunistic where we needed to be. The second half, obviously, getting the turnovers that we did, but to go, 4 turnovers on the game, that's huge. Puts us back in the plus category now. On the season. Really love what our defense is doing. And, as you mentioned, I mean, this week they're going to have to continue to get better, continue to grow, and play at a very high level.
Talk about the offense now. It's tough when you don't have your starting quarterback. You've got to use 2 guys that haven't played a lot. How did you assess how Gray and Kalu did?
Well, they found a way to win the game. And, really, we didn't turn the ball over, and we were able to drive when we needed to. We had the short field on the one, which helped us, but really put together 2 really nice drives. And then 2 nice drives that didn't result in points, missed some long field goals, but we still were able to move the ball. When you start a new quarterback, sometimes he's just got to go through some of the learning experience that the other guy already knows. And we're out there and we're watching, Gray and Kalu do some things that we know Mike wouldn't have done. We got to find a way to get that guy, more prepared for that next opportunity. But we felt like we left a lot out on the field and things that, that we've just got to get better at.
The offensive line really looked like took some big strides in that game. Really saw some holes open up for Schwartz and Johnson. You made some changes up front going into that game. How did you feel about those after you saw them in action?
Oh, it felt really good, and I think, the running game was because of the changes that we made, and I think we've got the guys in the right position now moving forward. We got a little more size on the inside with Tamarick Collier moving in there, and then I think we got somebody a little more athletic playing tackle with Cliff Fleming. And so I think that helped both in the pass game and in the run game, and something that we're going to need moving forward.